I mean, we'll talk in a second where you are now, but how has that kind of shaped you as a person and your experience and helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, the way that it shaped me was that it woke me up to what it actually looks like. So I think, you know, I always think about this in like a soulful perspective, because I've been through these kind of spiritual awakenings in my life where sometimes a trauma or an experience that's very traumatic can be like a wake-up call, can't it? You know, if we get an illness, or you know, we split from a partner, or whatever it is, it's like almost like an awakening to something else, and then there's another chapter afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I think with all of these visits, there was something that was waking me. And when I'd come back, I was in still in my almost cushioned, privileged role and the capitalist dream, as it were, climbing the success ladder and feeling like, okay, if I get that next promotion, okay, if I do all my KPIs, everything, nothing was in a synergy. So I was seeing this stuff happen in the world, and then I was coming back, and it was like I would have to close that down again. So the awakening happened, and then it was like, okay, I need to go back to my life and numb out. And I was using lots of ways of numbing out, and that's why it led me to going into like more of a spiritual path, because I was, you know, that stressed out woman at the end of the week, having the bottle of wine, just like, I need to let go. And so for me, you know, being a mother as well, I didn't want to live life like that anymore. I realized that I was the capitalist woman on the landfill. So I always think of this kind of linear path as fast fashion. And I feel like I lived fast fashion through me as an individual. So I worked and worked and worked, hit burnout, and then I was just slumped on the sofa at the end of the day or the end of the week. So it's a very personal journey for me of how fast fashion shaped me, because it taught me so much in terms of my skill set of technical awareness and the supply chain management, and you know, how to engineer a beautiful garment, how to how a product can perform and be functional. And also it really, you know, ingrained in me about margin and how that we can, you know, improve margin. I mean, that was all fast fashion was about. It was about profit.
Amazing. So that journey took you to where? Where are you today? What are you doing today? Because you're like doing something that's completely...
Well, I feel like I'm multidisciplinary as a person. You know, I am an artist at heart, so I love to create. And so you'll look at my Instagram and you'll see like me dancing, and you'll see like a bit of, you know, a prayer over here, and then I'm talking about sustainability. So I have these different passions that kind of run through me. But the underbelly of all of it, my purpose, I would say, is feminine leadership and women's empowerment. So that for me is kind of my calling. And for me, my purpose that underlines everything I do now is about how can I empower women, whether it's the Western woman or the Eastern woman. I think all women, I think we talked quickly about it earlier, but actually, you know, it's redefining the role of the feminine on the planet. We're in this time of this feminine rising, this energy is actually rising on the planet. And I feel like the redistribution of wealth has to be in the hands of those women, women that are going to be the leaders and pioneering this great change. You know, we've been through the COVID times, and we're in it now, but we are moving towards this new direction of the way we do business. You know, so many people have been affected from slowing down and this great pause. And then now it's like, okay, so how can we create something that's going to really, really be regenerative for our future generations? We can't leave the planet the way it is for our children.
Yeah.
So, you know, this underlines everything I do. And what I specialize in now is soul styling. So I work with clients on a one-to-one basis, and also I teach in groups. So I teach courses as well. And for me, when I actually had these kind of awakenings through fast fashion, it was about my value system and going within and understanding who I was and the power that I hold. Because I never could have sat here and even talked to you, you know, back then, and even really understood my own sense of self and sense of purpose in the world without doing lots of personal development work. So the journey that I went on from those awakenings was this very spiritual path. I became a yoga teacher. I started to practice womb healing and initiations, and I went on a real pilgrimage. Every temple, every sacred site, I was there because I needed this.
You were a seeker. You were seeking.
I was seeking something, and then I realized, boom, it's in me. It's all within. And I think that's when you have those moments of everything all the information and intelligence we want to access is actually within ourselves. But it's dismantling these threads of the overculture that we've been taught and told for so many years.
Yeah, having to unlearn what we've learned, and that's really hard.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
We're taught that the linear path is the way, and so then we're goal oriented, which is very masculine. And so for me, embracing the feminine and that rerouting myself and reorienting myself really in terms of who I am, what I'm here for, what my dharma is in a spiritual language, but really what my mission is here, has, you know, it's brought me to this place, which is a soul style, which for me is really about speaking in that micro level to the citizen, not really consumer, but the citizen. Like, how you buy and what you purchase holds so much value, and actually your clothing holds a meaning. And I started teaching adornment ceremonies where women would come and really have that spiritual experience that I was used to teaching anyway as a yoga teacher. Lots of meditation involved, and really harnessing the beauty of the clothing. So women would bring their best pieces, and then they would dress in front of other women. And it was a very sensual practice, but it was a practice at the beginning, I was kind of teaching on what was happening in fast fashion. So they kind of got that download. And then we would move into this new way of behaving with clothing that was a lot more about ritualizing the way we dress and ritualizing the way we relate to these pieces. So after that, my kind of, it's filtered down even more into this real practical element of styling, and really the styling speaking as a message of your soul speaking. So if your soul was to say hello, what colors would shine through? Like, how would you express yourself truly, away from the magazine culture, away from high fashion, away from all the codes that we have running through the mind? So rather than the cognitive way we think about it, it's going into the body and feeling, how do I want to feel? How do I feel in what I'm wearing today? How does this color make me feel? And how can I articulate the message of me through clothing? So it's quite different to a lot of image consultants, because I bring in this piece of the feminine and the energy that wants to speak through the woman that's in front of me, and then we align that with colors. So there is strategy involved as well. You have to have an element of this, you know, the tangible, the practical. So, okay, can I wear these? Like, what do these suit me? So my fit background, my garment technology comes into play, because I used to fit on different size models all the time, and really understanding what is good quality, what's a good fit. And so my perception is really clear on that. So it's about bringing the client into clarity with the clothing they already own and the pieces that they want to bring in, and the pieces have to hold that value. So it's not now, you know, my clients have 2 sessions with me and they're like, I can't buy ever again in the same way.